I think that in life we need to do a better job at leaning into our discomfort, into leaning into our pain and using it as a teaching moment. The other day, I'll say this, I was on a run and it was the longest run I've ever done. And so near the end, I'm getting this really bad cramping pain on my right side. And it was super uncomfortable and it was a little bit hard to breathe. And in that moment, I was like, you know what, I'm going to process through this. I'm going to think about it, but I'm actually going to push through my pain here. And so a couple of days go by, go for another run, and this thing is here, but now it's right off the bat. So I'm like, okay, something's wrong. So instead of stopping, instead of giving up, instead of running away from the fear of the hurt, I leaned into it for the first time in my life, and I really processed through it. I really thought about it, and I knew that it was my body telling me that something had to change. So in thinking about it, I took my AirPods out and I really just listened to my body. And so a couple runs later now, I'm realizing I need to change something. And after a little bit of experimenting, I realized that it was my breathing. And so I changed it. Now I'm running again and I'm feeling great. But it's all that to say we need to listen to our bodies, and we need to realize that it's sending us a message, and we can't run away from our pain. And that the truth is, a lot of the most profound lessons we're ever going to learn are founded inside. And I think it's a good thing that this happened to me, because it made me realize that something has to change. Another thing I've had to do is just be really patient with myself and not to compare my life to other people's lives. And this is also a running thing. And I like equating things that happen in my life to life itself and to the lessons I can take out of it. But a good quote I saw is, "Comparison makes bitter what is meant to be sweet." And we've all heard the quote, "Comparison is the thief of joy," and I think it's so true. I truly do believe that life comes from you. It doesn't come at you. And the way that we see life, the way that we experience and go about things, is really who we are deep down inside. And I don't think we should be waiting for things to line up to feel a certain way about ourselves. I think that we should just feel good about ourselves, because why not, you know? You live every single day and you need to make the most out of today. So why would you let your day go by and feeling negative about what other people have, what other people are doing, when we can do it ourselves? Not saying that it won't take time to get to where you're going, but I think that's the beautiful part about loving the process, being in love with the journey itself and embracing the journey, embracing all the pain, embracing the hardships, embracing the new relationships, embracing the people along the way, embracing the fact that, hey, this guy's kicking ass and I'm proud of him. And then seeing that in yourself, because, you know, when you give yourself an audience, when you self-validate, when you give yourself the time of day, when you care about yourself, you lose the need to perform for other people. And I think that's so true. You know, I think that in my life, I've lost a lot of my own time in wanting to be somewhere else, in wanting in wanting to be the situation of other people. And I've realized through time in and time out that I just need to be where I am and to be grateful for that. Because being where you are, it's life. This is life, you know? And I'm really slowly realizing that, but it's making me really proud of myself, because I think that it takes time to grow. It takes time to realize who you are. It takes time to put in that effort, to find that energy. But realization happens when you really think about it with yourself. And I think it's about the progress you make on the journey, and it's about looking back and seeing how far you've come. You know, I think that doing these videos, reading, writing, being alone has made me so much more mindful about my own life and about my own situation, my own circumstances, that I've actually cultivated so much patience for my situation. Like right now I'm waiting to go work, and it's kind of hard to see everyone else living their lives, and I feel like I'm just waiting on this one thing, but I kind of caught myself and I was like, this is no way to think. Like, be appreciative for every single day, because a year from now, nothing's going to look the same. And I think that we need to actually just sit there and appreciate our lives and do what we can with what we have. And that's what I've been realizing. And so I've actually been putting myself to work and going into action and, doing things for myself and taking the most out of my time now and seizing the opportunity to be my own person and to do it for myself. And I think that it takes really looking at yourself and really evaluating what you want. Not to say I'm not perfect, not to say that there's days where it comes easy, no, but I'm more patient with who I am, and I'm more patient at the fact that when it happens, it'll happen. I'm going to make the most out of it. But for now, I'm going to make the most out of this day right now. And I'm going to lean into my discomfort. I'm going to lean into my pain. And I'm going to make the absolute most out of who I am for myself. Because today is all we have. And live out every single moment like it's the last, because you never know. And so in that, when you really have that mentality of living every moment like it's your last, you become so much happier because you're just in the moment. And I'm just in the moment, and I'm doing things for myself, and I'm so proud of myself, and I validate myself, I validate my journey, I validate my experiences. I think about what's going on, I don't try to ignore all the negativity in my life. I lean into it and I see what it's trying to teach me, and then I move into action. And I think that's the biggest lesson that I've ever gotten, is through leaning in to my discomfort, I found out so much more about what I needed to make my circumstances that much better. And that's what that run provided for me. And I love that lesson. So lean into your pain. Embrace it. Be here, be present, be where your feet are. Love yourself. And that's it.